The latest Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness teasers reveal more than you think. Folks, the Multiverse of Madness is nearly upon us, which means the Marvel marketing machine is now officially in overdrive. As we count down the days until the highly anticipated Doctor Strange sequel and Nerdist's own fan screenings at the El Capitan Theater in Los Angeles, Marvel is rolling out brand new teaser trailers at a breakneck pace. And while you might expect the footage in these trailers to be what we've seen before, the latest teaser trailer entitled Time features some surprising new revelations. Another trailer for the 270-degree panoramic ScreenX format also contains some clues about what to expect from this mind-bending Sam Raimi film. Now we're going to break it all down for you in just a moment, but if you prefer to read all about it, we've got you covered over on Nerdist.com. However, in order to talk about this in detail, we need to discuss what could potentially be considered spoilers for the movie. So if you've come this far and want to keep living under a proverbial rock, well, leave now before it's too late.
Strange, stop! Can we please just talk about this?
Okay, let's get into it, shall we? The trailer begins with Wong telling Strange it's time as Strange looks at his reflection in a watch. This Jaeger ultra-thin LeCoultre was busted up while he was looking for Kamar-Taj in the original Doctor Strange. Here, it's a fitting metaphor for the movie itself, given that time, space, and his sense of identity are all going to be out of whack in this film. As for Strange, it's time for him to atone for tearing the multiverse a new one in Spider-Man No Way Home. The next shot is of Strange looking up in concern, his face lit red presumably by Wanda's chaos magic. His face then lights up with white light when America Chavez opens one of her star-shaped portals to the multiverse. Whether she does so of her own free will or she's forced to by Wanda's magic or someone else, though, is unclear. This seems like it takes place during the attack on Kamar-Taj based on the background. We see Strange leap into the air and tackle America through the portal, which is how we get that shot of them flying through all these disparate dimensions. The sequence is immediately followed by them flying through Kamar-Taj, kind of like in that weird extra-dimensional scene in Spider-Man No Way Home. This also seemingly aligns with a shot from another Multiverse of Madness teaser released on Twitter, which talks about an infinite number of universes. In one of these universes that America and Strange are flying through, we see a familiar face for comic book fans, or maybe I should say 3 familiar faces. As reported by IGN, you can spot what appears to be a brief cameo by the Living Tribunal, a powerful cosmic entity with deep ties to Doctor Strange. Created by Stan Lee and Marie Severin, the Living Tribunal first appeared in 1967's Strange Tales 157 and 158. Its purpose is to safeguard the multiverse and preserve the cosmic balance, especially when magical forces threaten to disrupt it, kinda like we see happening in this movie. The Sands of Death story in which the Living Tribunal debuted saw Doctor Strange racing against time to restore order to the universe. He had to prove that Earth was worth saving before the Living Tribunal destroyed it for the good of the multiverse. So maybe we could see something like that happen here, but who knows? Only time will tell. The Living Tribunal was also previously hinted at in 2016's Doctor Strange. Baron Mordo used a weapon that was later confirmed to be the staff of the Living Tribunal. In this film, though, he's apparently upgraded to a sweet-ass sword instead. Now, the Living Tribunal was also supposed to appear in Avengers Infinity War at one point, but was ultimately cut. According to co-writer Christopher Marcus, the Tribunal was supposed to judge Thanos guilty of disrupting the multiverse, only for that CrossFit California raisin to realize he was being bamboozled by Doctor Strange. However, as Marcus noted, if that guy exists, why is Thanos really a problem? We were in the middle of a really fast-paced fight, so to stop it for an LSD trip kind of sucked the air out of it. Moving on, we get another shot of the Nexus of all realities and that glowing object in the middle. Now, we originally believed this might be a version of the Darkhold given the multiverse tending towards chaos and entropy, but some have speculated this could be the Book of Vishanti as well. So what the Darkhold is to chaos, the Book of Vishanti is to order. Originating in Strange Tales 116, the Book of Vishanti would make a lot of sense here as a counterpoint to the chaos magic that's seemingly corrupting the Scarlet Witch and versions of Doctor Strange. And speaking of chaos magic, we see Wanda standing in the middle of a summoning hexagon. I know. She's looking upwards, and the eye imagery on the floor evokes Gargantos/Shumagorath, the Elder God and Lord of Chaos we see menacing Doctor Strange, Wong, and America in previous trailers. Now, the other geometric shapes on the floor also evoke chaos magic and the Darkhold pages we saw in WandaVision. As the camera zooms in on Wanda's eyes, we see a reflection of what appears to be those same nightmarish creatures that the so-called zombie Strange is surrounded by on the mountaintop later in the trailer when Wong calls out to him. Now, this kind of looks like Defender Strange, potentially based on the red and black costume, so maybe he gets corrupted by chaos magic during this sequence. It could also be Sinister Strange, the one who delved too greedily and too deep into chaos magic and who dwells in the evil-looking Sanctum Sanctorum. After that, we see America and Defender Strange sliding down rubble in the Nexus of all realities trying to reach the center point. This is followed by Wanda surrounded by a wall of mirror shards to hold her back at Kamar-Taj. And we also see another shot of the attack at Kamar-Taj, which from the Screen X trailer is heavily implied to be Wanda's doing based on the red-tinted magical explosions. The next scene shows Doctor Strange floating in front of the Illuminati's version of Christine Palmer in a room full of more candles than a Meatloaf video. And this also definitely has to be a fire hazard, especially for that recently repaired cape, which has the blue patch that Rentra the Minotaur's master Anna Tharman helped repair in the comics. We then hear what sounds like Sinister Strange saying everything you've ever known led you to this moment. But the real question is he talking to Doctor Strange in the Nightmarish Sanctum, or is he speaking to Wanda telling her that her destiny is to be the Scarlet Witch because she is a Nexus being? Moving on, we then see Defender Wong doing a sweet-ass flip with an Eldritch Magic rope dart to fight Gargantos in New York, and this is followed by another shot of Wanda looking up in surprise lit by Chaos Magic from the previous trailer. As we theorized, this sequence from maybe Kamar-Taj could be when she's summoning those two demons we see them fighting, which we think might be Billy and Tommy in disguise. After that, Doctor Strange is shoved into the Illuminati chambers by a pair of Ultron sentries, or as some have theorized, these might be remnants of this reality's Iron Legion program that started in the wake of the Battle of New York in Iron Man 3 and Avengers Age of Ultron. So Tony Stark might not have survived to make a cameo in this movie, but his legacy does live on. After all, he did have that Illuminati app on his phone back in Iron Man 2, so not saying, just saying. Speaking of the Illuminati though, Mordo finally calls this shadowy supergroup by name as we see Doctor Strange walk before the Council who's shrouded in darkness. We can see more clearly this time that only 2 chairs are occupied. Mordo is walking to one of them and Professor X is obscured by Doctor Strange. Speaking of Professor X, some are speculating that he'll appear in his classic yellow floating wheelchair from the comics and the X-Men animated series based on the wider aspect ratio in the Screen X trailer. After that, there's a brief shot of Strange using his Dragon Arm spell to protect America at Kamar-Taj, and then we see Strange facing off with Sinister Strange in the creepy nightmare version of the Sanctum Sanctorum. Our Strange is using Eldritch magic versus a purple magical energy that reminds us of Agatha Harkness and her dark magic from WandaVision. It easily overpowers our hero, but thankfully nothing happens to that random French horn on the chair next to him. Anyway, folks, there you have it. That is everything we spotted in the latest Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness teaser trailers. And with a little under 2 weeks to go, we can't wait to see what the film actually has in store for us. Of course, we'll have plenty of theories and other coverage in the interim over on Nerdist.com. In the meantime, though, tell us, what do you think of these new trailers? Did you spot anything that we missed?
We should tell him the truth.
Let us know in the comments below, and for the latest and greatest in the world of pop culture, make sure you stay tuned to Nerdist.com.